People didn't love steak and ale because it was trendy. They loved it because it felt like a reward. When steak and ale rose to popularity, it filled a very specific emotional and cultural space that barely exists anymore. It wasn't fast food, it wasn't fine dining, it lived in the middle ground, a place where going out to eat still felt special, but not intimidating. Steak and Ale was founded in the mid 1960s at a time when American dining was changing. Post war prosperity had expanded the middle class, and families were beginning to dine out more often, but most options were still limited. You had diners, you had drive ins, and you had expensive steakhouses meant for business dinners and celebrations. Steak and Ale saw the gap. The concept was simple but powerful. Offer real steaks at prices ordinary people could afford and wrap the experience in atmosphere that made guests feel like they were stepping somewhere better than everyday life. Dim lighting, dark wood, leaded glass, medieval style decor. It felt like a tavern crossed with a steakhouse, and that mattered. The restaurants were intentionally dark. That darkness created intimacy. Conversations felt private. Meals felt slower. The outside world faded away. Steak and ale didn't rush you. It invited you to sit, order a drink, and stay a while. For couples, it was romantic. For families, it felt upscale. For many people, it became the place you went when something mattered. And then there was the menu. Steak and Ale made its name on affordable sirloin, prime rib, and its signature marinated steak. These weren't luxury cuts, but they were prepared consistently and served with confidence. The food wasn't flashy, it was dependable. You knew what you were getting, and that reliability built trust. The salad bar became a major part of the appeal. At a time when salad bars were novel, steak and ales felt generous and indulgent. You didn't just get a side salad, you got control, choice, the feeling that you were getting more than what was printed on the menu. That sense of value was crucial to its success. By the 1970s and 80s, steak and ale exploded in popularity. It expanded rapidly across the United States, becoming a staple of suburban dining. It was the place for anniversaries, promotions, date nights, and family celebrations. For many people, it was the first restaurant where they ordered a steak that wasn't cooked at home. Steak and ale taught people how to go out for steak, but the very things that made it successful would later work against it. As the years went on, casual dining became crowded, chains multiplied, concepts copied each other, restaurants chased growth aggressively, steak and ale expanded fast, opening locations everywhere to keep up with demand. At the same time, dining tastes began to change. Younger customers wanted brighter spaces, lighter menus, faster service. The heavy, dimly lit atmosphere that once felt elegant began to feel dated. The medieval theme, once charming, started to feel stuck in another era. Costs also rose. Beef prices increased. Labor costs climbed. Maintaining large dining rooms, salad bars, and full service experiences became more expensive. Meanwhile, competitors adapted faster. Chains like Outback Steakhouse modernized the idea of casual steak, dining with louder branding, simpler menus, and more efficient operations. Steak and ale struggled to evolve. Instead of redefining itself for a new generation, it tried to hold on to what had worked before, even as the world moved on. The result was a brand that felt increasingly out of step with contemporary dining habits. Ownership changes didn't help. Steak and Ale passed through multiple corporate hands, each trying to extract value rather than reinvest in reinvention. Locations aged, concepts stagnated. What had once felt like a destination began to feel like a relic. By the early 2000s, the decline was unavoidable. Restaurants closed, foot traffic dropped. The brand that once symbolized a night out quietly disappeared from strip malls and suburban roads, but the affection never went away. People still talk about steak and ale with a kind of warmth that few chains inspire. That nostalgia isn't just about the food, it's about the feeling, the sense that going out to eat didn't have to be rushed, that a steak dinner could feel special without being exclusive. Steak and ale represented a time when dining out was an event, not an errand. Its disappearance wasn't caused by one mistake. It was the result of cultural shifts, rising costs, changing tastes, and a failure to adapt quickly enough. The world it was built for no longer existed, and the brand didn't find a way to redefine itself in the new one. That's why people still miss it. Not because it was perfect, not because it was fancy, but because it understood something essential about hospitality. People don't just want food, they want an experience that makes them feel taken care of. For a long time, steak and ale delivered exactly that. And even though it's gone, the memory of dim lights, a warm plate, and the feeling that tonight mattered still lingers.